what we've done with Lead Digital is to try and open up a conversation with women and girls around the continent about what it means to lead like a girl, and to create a space where we can co-define that, where we're hearing all their voices and we're talking about what it means to them and how they define that. And it's been an incredible thing. And it felt right to call you up and say, Meg, you have become the queen of conversation, somebody I feel who sets the table really beautifully for connection. And so, yeah, thank you so much for coming through to talk to us. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey.
My journey's been an interesting one, and probably one that I wouldn't have chosen had I known what I was going into, but the outcome has been so incredibly worth it. So at the end of 2016, my brother was hit and subsequently killed by a drunk driver. Pre my brother's death, I was the ultimate yes girl. I was extroverted, I was everywhere and anywhere, and I think when my brother died, everything changed, and I'd never really experienced loneliness on that level, and it was a very new territory for me. And I think within that realm, I started to really want to understand it more, because I was drowning in it. That actually got me onto doing quite a bit of research around loneliness, a lot of research around gathering, and I started to play around with the idea of throwing questions at a dinner table and seeing what happens. So beyond the how's work, how's family, when was the last time you felt brave? What were you doing that made you feel that way? And I remember going to my first dinner with this idea, because I'd sort of been stewing on it for quite a while, and I thought, I'm just going to test it out. And it felt quite vulnerable for me to throw that question out there, but I just chucked it out on the dinner table, and I watched our conversation, which would probably hover around the half an hour to 45-minute realm, turn to a 3-hour discussion. I left around 11:30 that night, and I had this moment of really assessing how I felt after that conversation, and everything had changed. What happened at the dinner table, which I didn't have words for at the time, was I went in, my tank was empty, I threw a question to the table, I came out, my tank was full. I felt lonely, something changed, I felt known, and then I felt safe. And all of a sudden that cycle was broken. And that was a starting point of Cards for Conversation, which has become the product of something. It's kind of the product of death. It's the product of something had to die in me. My brother passed away. I lost a huge part of myself. And within that, a lot of things came alive. And